Let's go to Terry. Milton Freewater, KLRF is the station. Hi, Terry.
Thanks for taking my call.
The little box is too little for me to see where you're totally from. Where are you from?
In the Milton Freewater area of
Okay.
near the border of Oregon and Washington.
All right. Well, what could we help you with?
Well, I need to find a way to respond graciously and encourage a new friend who has given me a generous offer, but I don't know that I feel at ease with the offer for the birthday gift that she's offered. She's
All right.
a master Reiki practitioner, and I don't know much about that, but I have wonderings of whether it is congruous with Christianity or not. And in speaking up about the offer, if it's not congruous with Christianity, then I don't have good models in my life for speaking truth and grace in the same picture. So I'm an empathic person who's worked hard for 25 years on my own healing journey, but I'm in an area that I don't know much about on this topic. So she's offered to give me a free session, which was generous of her, which I thanked her for her kindness, but I haven't replied to her further.
She would be doing this, is that right?
That's what I understand.
Yeah. Well, I let them go first before. I'm going to go first on this because it's risky. I'll take the risk.
It's your program.
If I had, if a friend of mine, new friend, said, "Hey, I would like to do this, let's just say massage therapy or Reiki or anything, Reiki, no matter whatever it was," I would say, "Hey, Bob, I don't know. I just feel a little weird about being your friend and doing that. So I appreciate the offer, but I'm just, I've been through a lot of things, and I'm going to have to pass on it." So I would just do it based on, I wouldn't want a friend of mine to be doing that because it kind of would, in my mind, change the relationship. It'd be strange. So that's one thing that you could say. The other thing that you could say, you get to determine whether or not she's going to be a friend. Because you could say, well, I know Reiki is based on this Eastern philosophy, and that there's this universal energy that flows through your hands as they're just right above my body, things like that. And as a Christian, it just seems a bit strange to me. I don't know a lot about it, but I think I'm just going to have to pass because I really believe, that God, the God of the Bible, is where power comes from, and it's not a thing out of Japan or some philosophy. That might be that. I think I would clumsily probably say something. One of those two things would be my response. Now let's hear from the experts, Chris and Sherry. What do you guys think?
Yeah, similarly, I just think that there are oftentimes these incidences in our life where we're asked to do something, even if it's a gift of generosity, to do something outside of our comfort zone or outside of our belief system. So whatever that is, even if it's an act of generosity, no thank you is a completely appropriate response. Now, I love, Terry, that you want to do this with grace and with truth. And so being generous and, as you said, I acknowledge and I'm thankful that you did this. And it's, again, such an act of kindness and generosity. It's just something I'm not comfortable doing at this time. And so, and it's not, and you also want to just keep setting boundaries if she tries to talk you into it. So a lot of people, when they're offering a gift, it's like, they may feel rejected, but just hold it. It's like, yeah, I hear what you're saying and I appreciate that. But hold the ground. I'm not comfortable doing this.
All right, we're going to take a break and we'll hear from Sherry on this. It is touchy because, there is potential to have a great friendship there. But if it's a friendship based on either think my way or the highway, then it's not much of a friendship. You'll get to discover that probably. We'll hear from Sherry right after this. 1-800-229-3000. If you need help other than the radio program, 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We'll be back. We're back. Let's go right back, and we were talking with Terry. Reiki treatment offered to her by a friend. Sherry, what's your thought?
You know, I think you guys gave great counsel, and this is the thing that I think is the challenge for most of us as empaths. You know, as empaths, we end up at times caring more about how that other person will feel than we actually feel. Mm-hmm. And that worry, that concern, that need to feel kind, a concern that we would let them down, that we might disappoint them or hurt their feelings, often puts us in a category of being chronic pleasers. I think of the book, you know, How We Love, and that pleaser part are the empaths. But in growing our muscles, learning how to do exactly what the guy has said is just speak your truth. You will feel anxiety, but anxiety when you talk to her doesn't mean stop. Mm-hmm. Anxiety is just about your fear of her being hurt. And you let that anxiety just pass through you. It's not permanent. It won't take your life out, right? It's just a feeling that you're going to have that comes along with the package of being an empath. It's an amazing gift to have, and we just have to grow our muscles in learning how to say no. And one of my secret words that I use when I'm feeling anxious about having to say no is I use the word unfortunately. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I'm just not able to do that. But I would love to go to lunch with you, right, to celebrate my birthday. Yeah. And it's a softer, instead of no, it's a softer way. And myself as an empath, I'm like, unfortunately, it just softens the blow for me. So I can say that a lot more than no.
and I think it's important that you not talk about Christianity at that moment, because you'll have other opportunities to do that. But you don't want to shame her in offering you a gift that you just don't feel comfortable about. But you've been through a lot, and there's just nothing wrong with saying, you know, I've just been through a lot, and I don't think I could enjoy it. So thank you. Maybe another time. What's that?
I have a question. I have a follow-up on that.
Okay.
Because I think that in my own school of God that I'm in, that this is being pushed into deeper water for me to develop those muscles, as it was worded, to be able to have a no that is strong and clear, but yet considers the other at the same time with grace. So I think that the discomfort for me more so is about the philosophy behind it. And so I don't want to press a point, but I also don't want to be in hiding either.
No, you shouldn't be in hiding.
How could I say that simply?
Well, you could say, it. You know, I don't know enough about it, but it kind of seems like it might, I don't know, interfere with what I believe and about power, God, things like that. I mean, if you have to do that, you just do it in a nice, gentle, almost reluctant way, because you want to be sensitive to her. That's why you're asking this question. How do I do it? I am sensitive to her feeling the rejection. And yes, she will. But I think you're on the right path there.
Terry, did you grow up in a home where there was tension because of control, issues of control?
I would say that I lived in a 97% perfect childhood, but that 3% that wasn't was pretty toxic, and there was rage that would get triggered, and I was a firstborn compliant child, the sensitive child. All we had to do was look at Terry, And so I, because of the other abuse that happened in addition to that, there was no place for me to go to share my feelings
Yep.
when I was afraid.
Yep.
And
Makes so much sense.
That highly in tune with others' feelings, because I had to take care of that little girl inside of me somehow.
I love that. And the reason I was asking is because sometimes when we've grown up in an environment like yours, where the sleight of hands, you pick up on stuff and just looking at you the wrong way, you would take that in. We have to grow in learning how to let somebody live their life with Reiki, and then you can live your life without it, and you can still be friends. Like, we don't have to fix somebody else's philosophy.
Right.
Jesus did this all the time, right?
Nor even have to defend our own.
We don't.
Yeah.
He spent time with tax gatherers and, people, prostitutes, and think about how he rolled. He was always a truth bearer. He never compromised the truth, but neither did he feel compelled to have to change somebody else's philosophy. But when we've grown up in a home where we feel we've not been able to hold our own space, sometimes we have this tension to feel like I've got to declare or fix or judge or protect myself. And you really don't. You are protected.
All right, so I'm going to send you Take Your Life Back, Healing is a Choice. I hope those are helpful to you. And here's what we say all the time around here. You never know the depth of a relationship until you have to say no to the other person on an issue in the relationship. I mean, really, if it's all okay, yes, you never really see what's there. You're going to find out what's really there.